Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm your host, Veteran Mountain Man, and it's another Regulatory Tuesday. Today we're actually going to talk about Senate Bill 828 from the Oregon State Legislature. And this bill actually is more push of socialistic programs and the idea that we need to have more leisure and less workers working. One of the things that this bill does actually is cap number of hours worked per week by workers. It also makes it required that employers deal with employees on creation of Schedule X, Y, and Z. There are several different clauses in this. What it basically comes down to is it's stripping the rights of the employer in favor of the employee. It's effectively doing what has been done in Detroit, in Boston, in all of the other major liberal cities, as well as Oregon, Washington, and California for over a decade now. And it's to push to a more socialistic concept. And I know some of you are going to say, well, give us one example out of this bill that is a push for socialism. Let's look at the overtime cap. So the overtime cap is going to be 55 hours a week without a waiver. Now, I work in a facility where you work 12-hour shifts. So when I volunteer for an overtime shift, I have to at minimum volunteer for 8 hours of overtime. Now, if my overtime is on a week that's one of my long weeks, because I work long weeks and short weeks to make an 80 hours per every 2 weeks scenario, then by definition, just working 8 hours, I am over the 55-hour cap. I am. So if I want to work any overtime, I have to go and sign this new waiver program and accept the new waiver, and the management has to be willing to have me sign a waiver. And so it creates a lot of hassle, a lot of paperwork, a lot of extra red tape just for me to do an extra 8 hours of work. Now, if it's my short week and I want to do more than 12 hours of overtime, I pretty much have to sign a waiver as well. So basically what it's going to cap me from doing is working overtime on my long weeks. And so instead of doing 5 days, 4 days, I will have to go back to doing 4 days, 4 days. Because I won't be able to do overtime on my long week and add additional resources to my check. And it's not just me, it would be anybody in my group. Now, the whole point of doing this is that by restricting mine and everybody else in my work group's overtime, they're going to eventually force the hiring of another person. Because total aggregate hours will still need to be done. And the government's theory is that any worker in your business is just as replaceable by another worker in your business, which is not true. In fact, when you start talking about any type of skilled labor, they are not interchangeable. It's only unskilled labor that's interchangeable. And while this will affect a lot of unskilled labor, it will also affect a lot of skilled labor. Well, I'm going to include a link down below to the actual Senate bill from the Oregon State Legislature, as well as a description from Oregon.gov. Please don't forget to upvote and follow me on VidMe, or thumbs up and subscribe on BitChute. Also like and subscribe on YouTube. You can catch me at the other social media addresses down below. And if you'd like to contribute, you can catch me at minds.com or at Patreon and contribute to what I'm doing here. Thank you all again, and have yourselves a great day.